All right, so we are live. I am Clifton Smith, and I am part of Faces of the Future. I'm a quantum business specialist and a founder alignment specialist. So, what that means is I look at individuals and help them align to their purpose and destiny, as well as I'm able to help them build their business from a quantum place. And what that means is utilizing quantum principles of reality, of manifestation, to move forward and create new businesses and new ideas. Faces of the Future is a startup studio with a personal development platform focused on conscious awakening. We are at the intersection of consciousness, innovation, and market-ready technology. And one of the questions that I was asked to talk about in this video is from one of our clients who's doing a deep dive in abundance mindset, wealth mindset. And anytime an entrepreneur goes on a journey, there tends to be a question about finances, whether it's cash flow, maintaining the project as the project's moving forward, or sales once the company is up and running and has a product ready, has a product that's ready for market. We have a constant consideration of money. Money is like the lifeblood or the breath of business, at least in the old model. In the new model, I won't go into it in this video, but there's a particular different view. But as we know, currently we can't pay our rent with love. It requires money, and so when people go on a conscious awakening journey, or they're more conscious of money, there might be certain blocks or certain things that come up that prevent them from making money. And even if they haven't been on a conscious awakening journey yet, there might be blocks from the way they were raised, or just from society or the narratives that they have running inside of them. And so today I want to talk about the 7-step process for a money manifestation meditation. And so the very first step that I want to talk about is to bring your whole being into it. And entrepreneurs are really great for going all out and really putting their heart, soul, body into creating something from scratch. And that's extremely admirable. And it's that kind of trait that going all out, bringing your entire passion, attention, and focus is part of step 1, and that is to get your whole body on board. And in order to do that, you have to bring all different areas of your being to a state of presence, as well as checking in with, on the Vedic side, what you would call the chakras, or different parts of your body, to check in to make sure that they are awake. Have you ever had that experience where you've woken up, you've worked really late at night, and you're just kind of on autopilot, wandering around, and then you have a cup of coffee, you get in your car, you get to work, and finally by the time you get to work, you feel like you're actually awake. It's because there's sometimes different body parts aren't actually firing together energetically. You've sort of turned down certain chakras that are still in sort of sleep mode, in a sleep state, rather than awake. And that's what we want to do in this first step, is to get your whole body on board. And the best way to do that I've found is using what's called the Blessing of the Energy Centers meditation from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And what that essentially does is it creates an opportunity for you to intensely focus on specific body parts that are identified as the chakras, to bring awareness and attention to it with your conscious breath, as energy goes where attention flows. Energy flows where attention goes. That's the right phrase. And so when you focus on, say, your root chakra, energy will actually go there with your breath, with your conscious breath. And what you're kind of doing is you're kind of powering up to full power. And oftentimes we operate from a suboptimal level of power, or sometimes we sort of turn on, all the energy to our brain. But when it comes to full-bodied manifestations and visualizations, it's really important that all aspects of your body come together. And so the first step is to get your whole body on board by doing blessing of the energy centers. And there's great videos of what that is from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and maybe we can do a version of that. But essentially, it is focusing on a particular area of your body, being very convergent of focus, like very focused on a particular part of your body, breathing into it, bringing energy to it, and then going divergent, which is sensing the space around that body. And that starts to help you amplify your energy center in that area. It's similar to power poses, right? And with psychology and physiology, if you walk around hunched like this, your energy is not going to be as strong. You can practice it in a mirror. You can look at yourself like this and see how you feel. Versus if you expand outward with shoulders back, and perhaps maybe this is a nice point for me to sit up a little taller here. Your energy expands. You become more vibrant. You have more charisma. And the same thing happens on the subtle energy part and the energetic body that you have in each one of your chakras. So it's about focusing on those chakra centers, being convergent and focused to sort of turn it on, and then focus divergently, which is focusing on the area around that, the space around those energy centers, to go from here to here. And you do that with your conscious intention. And what's really important too is to sync up as you move from your root to your sacral to your solar plexus to your heart, is to really make sure that you activate that heart and get into that heart-brain coherence. And once you're there, once you're in that heart-brain coherence, you can start to really turn on and move on to that next step. But what I encourage you to do is to continue to the throat chakra, third eye, and crown, and even the eighth chakra, which is the ka, which is is about this far above your head. What those do is those help elevate your state of awareness to bring in incredible possibilities into how to manifest money, or how to just manifest what you want, in this case, money. So once you go through all the energy centers and blessing even the field around you to really supercharge yourself, you can go to the step 2. And step 2 is to sync up and visualize the toroidal field. And what the toroidal field is, you can Google it, but it's essentially like a donut, an energetic donut that's constantly shooting out and coming back in from out your crown and then back in through your root. And what you can do is you can visualize that as like almost like a powerful Tesla ball of energy with your breath. And what you're doing is you're kind of turning on the machine, right? The blessing of the energy centers is kind of like turning on each engine, turn on all 8 engines. And then you can turn on that toroidal field. You can imagine like a force field or a field that flows through you. And what that does is that signals the electromagnetism that's happening. And you can look at Heart Math Institute and their images of what happens when you're heart-brain coherence, and that the field that is created with that. What we're doing is we're amplifying that through your entire body. So it's a full-bodied toroidal field. And what you're visualizing as you breathe in and out is breathing in the money and breathing out the money, because money, just like any other current, is an energy, and it's a flow, and it's just as important on the inflow as it is the outflow. And of course, when we're talking about money manifestation, we tend to focus on the inflow. But if you're stagnant, if you're in a way kind of energetically constipated with your money, then there's no possibility, there's no flow, there's no ability for money to come in. It's just sort of stagnant. And so once you've been able to visualize or feel, at least with your breath, that toroidal field, and you're able to tune in to that idea of money coming in and coming out, the next thing you need is step 3, which is a clear thought and elevated emotion. And so, of course, what we've been doing, turning on our body, our vehicle, and our energy, is to really get ourselves in a place to be able to activate an elevated emotion. And those include things like gratitude, appreciation, love, bliss. And gratitude is one of the best things to tap into. It's one of the easier things to tap into, which is an emotional response to feeling grateful for things. And once you have that elevated emotion going through you, because your vehicle has been tuned and it's firing, you need that clear thought of what it is that you're bringing to you, because the emotion is the magnetism. It's what pulls things to you. And so you need a clear thought, which is the thought that you're sending out into the quantum field for it to be brought to you. And so what is it that you're thinking about? In this case, the clear thought is money, or it's a expression of money. So it could be a client, or a sales, or maybe you're selling a product, or getting rid of something that you don't need anymore and you're selling it. So you want the money, but in a way there's some extra steps that you can take to really hone in on what it is. Maybe it's a specific amount of money. Maybe it's visual. Maybe it's the thought of how that money's coming to you. Is it with cash? Is it with check? Is it with credit card? Are you open to different ways that it's coming? And oftentimes, the more specific you get, the more clear you can tap into the emotion, or you can be open to how it comes to you. And so, another thing to think about is when you think about elevated emotion, it's not necessarily money, because money is sort of emotionally neutral. It's more, what does that money get you? Is it about bringing you opportunity? Is it bringing you freedom? And so understand, take it a step further. When you tap into that place of gratitude, what is that feeling, and that feeling of freedom? And really hone in on that, and start to amplify it with your breath a few more times, to really remember that feeling. And often it's a feeling of abundance. And so once you're able to hone in on what that feeling of abundance feels like, and you have a clear thought of what you're wanting, tie it into the visualization of that toroidal field, and you're ready to go to step 4. And step 4 is, when you're in that feeling state, start to be grateful for the outgoing just as much as the ingoing. And what you're going to do is, just like you bless the energy centers, just as you appreciated them, what you're going to do is you're going to appreciate everything that you've spent money on. And you can start with anything that comes to mind, or you can specifically go with what you invested your money in yesterday. And notice that slight change. I didn't say spent yesterday, I said invested yesterday, because then that up levels your consciousness of where you're putting your money. And in those transactions, as you're handing the credit card, as you're pushing a buy, on Amazon, or as you're handing the cash to a teller, focus on those moments and blessing them, being grateful for it, being grateful for the person who received that money, be grateful for the company that money goes to, be grateful for the product that you received. And so what you're doing is, as I mentioned, you have that toroidal field of the inflow of cash and the outflow of cash. You are now jump-starting the gratitude energy of the outflow of cash. And it's really important to bless like all aspects of the flow. And so once you've gone through it, and you can do major purchases you've done in the past, you can bless it. You can focus on what you did yesterday and bless it, or you can focus on things that you kind of felt begrudgingly, and you can bless it and start to really work through the emotional charge of that money, because there is an emotional energetic charge to money, where money has actually different energetic feeling to it. And I'll just quickly point to the aspect of if you win the lottery, or you have a certain inheritance of money that just kind of fell on your lap. Though the people who have that money tend to spend it. It tends to go through their hands. And there's a deeper reason, but one of the reasons is that there's an emotional charge to it. And once you have blessed everything on the outcoming, then bless everything on the incoming, things that you've already received. And what you focus on, more of it will come. And so start blessing that penny you found on the street. Start blessing that client that you received. Start blessing the paycheck that you receive, even if it's not as much as you would like, or even if there was lots of problems. Start to really use that energy and emotional charge that you've created to bless the money that's coming in, because you want more of it. You want more money, right? And so things come in based on the magnetism that you charge it. And so the best way of doing that is to start with what's already come, to make sure that inflow has that positive emotional charge. And then once you've blessed and you've elevated your emotional feelings towards the already existing inflow and outflow of money, and you have that toroidal field visualization going, then you're ready for step 5, which is to visualize what you are doing today that will manifest money. So start with what is clear, the low-hanging fruit. If you have a job, if you are working on sales, if you have a clear idea of what you know is needed in your job, visualize that. Visualize that in a way of going the best way possible, with ease and grace. Visualize it with joy and bliss. Send gratitude for the fact you have that job. Send gratitude for the company you're working for. Send gratitude for the clients or the customers that will come into your shop that day. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a very specific person. It can simply be this idea of the customers coming in that day. And visualize them purchasing the product, purchasing whatever you're offering. And if you don't have a clear way of tapping into the flow of money, that caveat, that's something that we help with at Faces of the Future, is to be able to identify and unlock your purpose and ground it into a business ready venture, or an opportunity to join the perfect company that you would be an incredible founder of or part of. And so if you don't have a clear way of manifesting money, then there might be some extra steps, and that's definitely something that we can help you with, and it is one of our sweet spots. And so once you visualized what you are to do today that you already know will manifest money, and you've blessed it, you've visualized it, you've charged it with powerful energy, emotional energy of love, bliss, grace, gratitude, you're ready to go to step 6. And step 6 is, okay, you've gone through the known, now you're going to step into the new and unknown. And so what you're going to do is simply open yourself up to a more of a receptive energy, which is more on the feminine polarity side of energy, which of course isn't gender feminine, it's gender polarity side, which is the receiving. And so you're going to step into the new and unknown and be open to the unknown of money coming to you in serendipitous ways. And you're open to receiving a clear path forward in that. And that then is changing from a very more masculine polarity of like, I know exactly what I'm going to do, to then being receptive and charging up your feminine polarity of this toroidal field, of this receptivity of money, and just being open to it. And this is really key for you to dive into your beliefs around possibilities, your beliefs around the unknown, and there's definitely troubleshooting that we can help you with, and perhaps there'll be a future video that talks about how to troubleshoot this, but stepping into that new and unknown to receive I know for me personally, I had a challenging time because I was so ingrained with a specific way of how to make money, that being open to serendipitous ways to receive money was a bit challenging for me. So I've been there. I know how it goes, but really tapping into being open to receive in the new and unknown, and that is also a journey and yeah, a journey of more the feminine polarity of energies, of the divine feminine energies, and the healing of the masculine feminine energies is definitely part of our journey. So if you have a little trouble on that side of stepping into the new and unknown, of receiving, of surrendering, then definitely we go into that in our journeys with our clients. But after you have done what you can to surrender, to receive the new and unknown from that state of gratitude, and that's key. Can you surrender and receive from a state of gratitude, not a state of fear or anger, but from a state of authentic gratitude and appreciation? Then you're ready for step 7. And even if you're having trouble with step 6, when you've done your best, go into step 7. And as entrepreneurs, you are trained to step into the new and unknown. And so you are primed. I do want to say you are primed to really be open to receiving. It just might require a few belief shifts and some healing journeys. But when you're ready, you can go to step 7, which is to go about your day and be aware of that feeling that you locked into on step 3, about what it would feel like to be abundant, what it feels like to have that money, more so the opportunities that money provides, the freedom, the possibilities, and hone in on that emotion as you awaken from your meditation and go about your day. And just follow it. See if you can tune into it. Use your body as a compass, as a navigation vehicle, to be aware of decisions in maybe a different way. And be aware when you might not be feeling that elevated emotion, so you can tap back in to that emotion. And that emotion, the elevated emotion that you locked in step 3, is that honing beacon and that guide that you move your compass towards. And navigating your day-to-day from a feeling state is another advanced concept that we work on with our clients at Faces of the Future. And so these are the 7 steps of how to manifest money in a complex, comprehensive way. Step 1, get your whole body on board, which is the chakras and, let's say, the energy centers. You're firing up your engines, and you're having them all fire together. Then step 2 is you turn on that toroidal field, which is almost like turning on that force field around you of money coming and going. Step 3 is getting clear on the thought of what you want to receive and finding that elevated emotion of what it feels like and to feel it. Step 4 is to be grateful and bless the things that have already come in to your field and out of your field, money that's come in and money that's come out, by blessing all aspects of that flow. Step 5 is more on the masculine polarity side of energies, which is visualize what you are to do today that you know will manifest money, such as being amazing at your job, such as visualizing a lot of customers coming and purchasing your product, or you just being the best you can be at your job, because that is manifesting money. Step 6 is more on the feminine side of energy, which is stepping into the new and unknown and receiving, being open to receive in serendipitous ways and to take action in the pathway forward that it's guiding you. And then step 7 is as you get up from your meditation and you go about your day, hone in on that elevated emotion that you felt in step 3 about what it feels like to be abundant, and tap into that continuously throughout the day to help you navigate your decisions and navigate your interactions. And with that, those are the 7 steps to how to manifest your money. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, any clarifying thoughts or comments, if you liked it, please comment below, like it, let me know what information resonates with you. Let me know if you need me to dive into deeper. In the next video, I'm going to, or a video that maybe I'll link here, which I'll create, is the 7 steps to troubleshoot this process. And I know this is a lot. It is a synthesis and a combination, as I said in the description below, of Vedic teachings, of ancient Hawaiian practices, of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, of Bruce Lipton's work, of my own work, my own realizations, my own journey, and our journey with our clients here at Faces of the Future. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you learn how to tap into that money manifestation and hone in on that feeling of abundance, and go about your day with a powerful toroidal field with all of your chakras activated and firing together. So with that, have a great day.